Good evening, everyone. My name is Sam Nichols. I'm the Executive Director for MSA. And I wanted to come tonight and to kind of introduce the evening to all of you, because I think I kind of come at soccer and futsal from a little different perspective. See, I'm not dressed with the fancy coaching gear because I'm just a dad, right? And my kids are participate in Revolution as well. And so really, I think the focus that we want you to understand as we go into this night's information is that we've spent months thinking about how to best serve your families, your athletes, and in your lives. We know that you're very busy. We know you're giving up your time tonight to be here with us, and we really appreciate that. And so we're going to work really hard for you and for your kids to make sure that they have a schedule that makes sense, to make sure that soccer and futsal work together and not against each other, and that we can just continue to help build your kids and teach life through sport. So that's our focus, and hopefully you'll hear that in all of the different things that we talk about tonight. We're really excited, and thanks again for coming out.
Thank you for being here. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Brett Beckett. I'm the new club operations director for MFA. Derek's my partner who, thank you Derek, ran back there to take care of one little technical glitch. Derek's my partner as the club director. We are responsible for running Michigan Football Academy for Michigan Sports Academies. We really welcome you here tonight. So these other two guys probably don't need an introduction. Most of you probably know who they are. But I will take a few minutes and just do that. George Money, our director of coaching. I'm very privileged to work with George day in and day out. He's a guy I look up to both on the coaching aspect and as a leader of our organization. Is one of the most winningest coaches in soccer in the state of Michigan. So we are very privileged lucky to have him. And it is a great honor to introduce our new club assistant director of coaching. He's taken a step up in his role, Joy Baroni, with us to kind of help George and assist drive the programs forward as we are here obviously discussing what the future vision looks like. So again, thank you for being here. We really appreciate you taking time out of your nights to come kind of walk through what the next year and what the future of MFA looks like. Just so you know, we didn't want to put a bunch of lights out or anything like that because we wanted it to kind of be us and you, but we did know obviously there'd be a lot of people, so we wanted to get a little bit higher, go over the presentation of what it looks like for your athletes going forward. So again, thanks for being here. We're going to jump right in, I guess. So I'm really looking forward to it because I really want to cover tonight. And when we say we're truly a player-centered club, player-first club, that's important to us. Every decision we make that you see tonight is about player development first. If it doesn't impact how your son or daughter grows as a player and as a person, because like Sam said, we teach life through sport, then we don't consider it. And everything tonight you'll see is driven in that pathway. So cover a couple brief kind of instructional things. I know there's going to be a lot of questions. We're going to try to answer as many as we can. But the one thing I do want to say is we will hang out here. I don't want to say as long as it takes because my building people would like to kind of maybe get out of here before 11 p.m. tonight. We will hang out here to answer one-off or individual questions that you may have in regards to anything we cover here tonight or any other questions you have for our program. So if we don't cover it, make sure to maybe jot yourself a note, put it in your phone, because the four of us will hang out to make sure we get as many questions answered as possible by the end. So I guess we're going to kind of jump right into it. Derek, I really want to talk to you first. As we've been going over the last 5-6 months before I came here, what does the future of MFA look like? I really would like to see or hear from you, what are the 3 biggest things that our club that really sets us apart as a club, I guess, from everybody else in town? Can you hit on that?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. I have a slide perfectly prepared to answer your question, Brett.
That's why you're my partner. He's very OCD. If you don't know, he knows your kid's name. I promise you, he knows every kid in this club. And I've tested him for 5 months, and I don't think failed once. So he's very detailed. So his stuff is ready tonight.
Yeah, so hey everyone, a lot of friendly faces out there, good to see you all. Is our commitment to player development, our commitment to organization, and our commitment to providing a good. As we've been talking about tonight, players are literally at the center of every single decision that we make. The 1,000 players in our club are the backbone of everything that we do, and every decision from little to big is centered around those players. A couple of good examples of this are what you're going to hear tonight in our new summer programming and in our new winter programming that we're going to launch to you guys tonight. That's all wrapped around what's best for your players. Organization, the next biggest priority besides your players is you guys, our families. We want to provide a family-friendly environment for you guys where you know that we're gonna be planning ahead, we're gonna communicate in advance. For those of you in the room who were here 4 years ago, we used to do this crazy thing where we literally have the practice schedule 12 months in advance for you guys. And so you guys would be able to plan your entire calendar year well in advance, and we want to get back to that. We have the ability to do that, and some of the changes we've made this year for this upcoming season are going to allow us to do that again. And the last thing is value. You know, we want to make sure you get enough bang for your buck, and so with our 12-month periodization, all the programming that we include for your athletes or all the a la carte options that we have for you guys, the goal is that you guys all feel like you're getting your money's worth. You know, that you're developing on it, that your kids are developing on and off the field with us, or the court. And so those are our 3 biggest things that kind of guide all of our decision making.
And I know, obviously, you and I will handle a lot of the programming, logistics, calendar stuff, but really the experts that most of you sign up to, you know, we're coaches, but we look to them as experts on the field. Joey and George, what are, I guess, 4 key attributes or 4 key things that we have come up with that you guys want to touch base on that kind of fits this and where we're going as a club going forward?
Well, one of the things that we are going to do in the near future is correcting the futsal program and aligning it with the U.S. Soccer Federation philosophy and objectives. Every organization in the world invests in futsal and uses futsal as a vehicle to develop soccer players. And during this coming year, we're going to invest heavily in futsal and just bettering our players first and foremost, because, you know, as Derek said, that, you know, we're a very focused club on player development, and we think that futsal plays a major role in developing freedom of expression, intuition, and abstract thinking. So for us, futsal is going to take an important stage for our player development in the future.
And Joey, a little bit about, because you obviously handle our camps as part of your assistant director role and your Ox role. What between camps and summer programming, what do we have for them on that?
Yeah, we're also going to use our new summer program to align what we do with our philosophy, which is player development first. So besides getting the normal camps that you've been getting the last couple of years, which are our shooting camp, our goalkeeper camp, our moves and skills camp, high school training camp, sports performance, we're also adding a college ID camp this summer, where we're going to have Lawrence Tech and Michigan State college coaches come here and run training and watch the kids play. So besides the summer camps, we're adding a summer open play league where your son or daughter can come to the field house on a Thursday night, so it doesn't take weekends away from your summer. And we'll have the fields all lined up as 4v4 for the younger age groups, 5v5, and then 7v7 for those age groups. And they can spend 2.5, 3 hours just playing pickup soccer. So if you've ever lived in another country, if you know people that live in another country, I myself grew up in Sicily, and I didn't have a coach till I was 11. I played pickup soccer all day with my friends, 4v4, 5v4, 4v5, 3, whatever it was. Kids 2 years older than me, kids a year younger than me. So what we want to do is we want to create an environment similar to what basketball is in the US, where kids go to a park and they just play, and they problem solve on their own. they think abstractively. They don't have a coach there telling them, don't dribble in the back, don't pass the ball here, pass it here, do this, do that. So it's something that George and I have strongly believed that is missing from U.S. soccer development throughout the country, and that's something that we're excited that we're going to bring to you this summer.
Perfect. And I guess I'll take number 3 because near and dear to my heart. Many of you have probably seen the cameras. We have invested this year into starting a VO program. I know some of you have probably said, why hasn't my team seen it yet or had it on theirs? But you're getting to everybody. When you have 80 plus, 70 plus, 80 plus teams, it's a little difficult to try to fit that in. But we are working on that. So to give you a little insight, a little kind of, I guess, future vision on what's going to happen with that. Currently, obviously, we have 2 VOs. We have 2 more that are on the way that I'll touch on in a second. But we are looking to partner with VO in an even bigger capacity. I'm personally working a deal. It would be one of the only in the nation that they would do it with. You'd start seeing some signage around here as part of our partnership. And on our website, we just actually started sharing some really cool goals and plays on our social media using our VO technology. It's a huge player development tool. It allows your players to truly see and improve by seeing what they're doing on the match. Or when a coach gives them a coaching point, being able to go back and watch it and actually see what the coach was talking about. Because when we're all athletes and we're all coaches. Like when you get involved in a match, sometimes coaches, is saying something, or Joey's yelling something across the pitch at another player, and they don't necessarily understand. Well, now you can go back and watch it, highlight it. You can tell straight on it to show them exactly where they need to make a run. Very cool technology. But for you as families, we're looking to grow that program to where the partnership we're looking at would have possibility of having every team with a camera. So that way your athletes can use that tool in pretty much all the ages for the most part. So
the other thing that we can do with the cameras is have them out on our training sessions for coach development. Being able to show a coach how they coach in a practice, and so we can use that to sharpen their skills. Seeing yourself coach a session is obviously a pretty remarkable thing.
If you've ever been recorded, it can kind of be intimidating once you watch it back. So, but that allows George and Joey to improve the coaching staff as well, and our technical directors can for each age group can work with the coaches and the team as well, just because they can't necessarily make every game. So it gives them the chance to. Something that benefits you. It allows us the next few cameras and everything we have going forward in this program will be what they call VO2, which gives us a live streaming capability. Meaning MFA games, whether it's Fieldhouse or in Detroit, if a team has one of the live 2 cameras, you'll have the ability to live stream. Maybe in the last 2 years we've seen there's not many spectator limits and stuff that we've dealt with. That this grandma and grandpa still don't necessarily can't make a game, but they live out of state. You can give them a link and they can watch your son or daughter play. So it's a very cool tool for not only development, but for you as families as well. So we're really looking forward to that. I guess, Joey, you want to, since part of your role is college recruitment, go a little bit more into the college recruitment side of things since we have so many good teams.
So one of the good things that is happening at MFA is that we are getting more teams now into the NLC leagues, the higher leagues. So, and now that we are building from the ground up and with so many talented younger teams, it's only going to get even more important for us to be able to have some solid college recruitment tools for the kids and the parents. So what we're planning on doing, besides bringing in college coaches to run training sessions, doing college ID camps, is doing some informational meetings with the parents. So this fall, we're going to have a college recruitment meeting where if you have a son or daughter that's approaching that age or is at that age, you can come in and I and a college coach will inform you what you need to do to prepare yourself for the college recruiting process, which is just as easy as selling or buying a house. It's really not that stressful at all. Don't worry about it. I've been through it 4 times myself. George went through it, and if just like buying or selling a house, if you're well informed and you know what you're getting into, then you'll be able to make the right decisions for your kid and find the right fit, which is the most important thing. Not everybody needs to be playing Division I college soccer. It's about finding the right fit for your kid. So we'll have that information meeting this fall, and I personally look forward to that because my youngest son is already done with college, and I don't have to go through it anymore myself, but I definitely would love to help parents, and I still do all the time, but I would like to do it now for our entire club.
Well, and we had the privilege, I met some of your daughters might have attended in the past few months to work with Bethany Balser, Joey, Derek and I coached with her at a camp with us. And, one of the things that really stuck out when we did the Q&A session was when she said, I chose the school for the school, knowing that if the soccer program wasn't there anymore, I would still enjoy what I was doing at school. I think it turned out well for her. I mean, going to Spring Arbor and now is playing professionally and as a cap of the U.S. women's team.
I played at Kelvin College, and I would not trade that for anything. If some people always ask me, how come you didn't play Division I? Don't my sons tell me that I didn't play Division I, so they're better soccer players than me. And I tell them, you know what? You could go to Michigan State all day because that was a good fit for you. Kelvin College was the best fit for me, so that's where I played. I'm proud to say it.
Go Knights.
They're Division III. I don't care if they're Division 21. I don't care if they're in the last division in the world. I'm a Kelvin College graduate, and that helped mold me as a person more than a college Division I program would have. Either way, I wasn't going to make millions of dollars playing soccer.
And I don't know if I believe that because I saw you earlier today kick a mini ball from back behind those stands to my foot behind like almost the stage perfectly. So don't believe him. He's a phenomenal player. So I guess we'll kind of get against sake of time. I want to move on because Derek, those are four pretty impressive things that we're bringing and we're improving with the program now. They're awesome development. So I guess how does that fit? Because everybody I know is probably as a parent, I'm sitting here going, wow, that seems like a lot. How do I fit into my schedule? How does that fit into like our club's year-round approach?
I have another slide
You are so good.
to answer your question. Let's see it. So obviously soccer is a big sport. Our goal is to provide all of you guys with a balanced year-round schedule that it's not overwhelming. It's not going to create burnout in your athletes, but it's perfectly balanced to develop your players at the rate that we want them to develop. And so when we look at a 12-month calendar, you break down the 4 seasons. Obviously, the fall and spring are pretty traditional for us. You get your 2 practices a week. George will be able to touch base on it in a second. With the 3rd night of training, we're going to add a new thing in there. It's been futsal. We're gonna add the fitness into that. Actually, George, why don't you go into that right now since we're talking about it?
Yes, Sam, I'm ready. No, I was talking to a few parents earlier, and we finished the first meeting, and one of the things that they told me was actually the 07 boys' parents, and they said to me, hey, thank you so much that you guys are doing this. I wish we could have done this before. We're very invested in the development of your kids and our players, and we know that without putting the time and without putting the effort, I don't think we're going to get better. And the 3rd night of training is an idea that constantly develops players. We know that our kids go 3 hours a week, 1.5, and then they disappear from the soccer fields. That's why we came with the idea of the 3rd night of training, where we're going to use futsal as a tool for the younger ages to continue to develop. We believe that the more they touch the ball, the better they're going to become technically, and the more proficient they're going to become to find solutions to the problems that they're going to have during the games. So problem solving is going to be increased. So this futsal 3rd night of training is going to have that, development of foot skills and games, small-sided games where they can continue to have fun and enjoy and do the problem solving. The other part that we're adding over here is the fitness aspect. We know that everybody needs it. Our kids sit most of the time at home playing a video game or doing something, and they are not like our grandparents or us, that were outdoors kicking a ball, climbing a tree, doing whatever we were doing. Kids nowadays, the technology has created a very sedentary life. They sit down. So we wanted to add the fitness aspect for the younger ages. So they can come here for an hour, let's say 5 to 6, and the 2nd hour, we can do speed and agility for them. And that does develop their coordination, because if they are not coordinated well, they cannot control the ball. So that's an important aspect of our game. For the older ages, they're going to have fitness before. They're going to do strength and conditioning, and then they can come and do the futsal, because we can reverse it for the older ages. It makes a little bit more sense to do the fitness part before, and then they can come and continue to do the futsal training after that. So that is an important aspect to strengthen, to improve, to develop better soccer players.
Yeah, and another, little thing in this that helped us make this decision was a lot of you guys were bringing your kids for a third night of futsal training just for an hour or an hour and a half. It's like, okay, well, maybe we can make it a little more value on the parent side. Drop your kid off for 2 hours, let them get 2 hours of training with us, and then, you guys have a little bit more freedom and flexibility on that side too. So, definitely an added value there. The whole goal with this slide is to show you guys that over a whole year with our facilities, we can provide you guys with an outstanding balance between soccer and futsal programming. I'm sure you guys are seeing the green words behind me for our winter options. You guys are seeing something on there that's called Rev Futsal Elite. We have a whole slide on that later that we'll get into it. But the biggest thing that you'll see in that winter programming is that we have the word soccer on there now. For the last 4 years, we have been all in on futsal, and we still strongly believe in futsal. Futsal is a part of the development pathway for our kids. We are going to still use futsal an awful lot, but it's not going to dominate the scenes in the winter as much as it has. We want soccer and futsal to coexist, and our goal is to do both throughout the entire winter for all of our players. We're going to get into some of the exact details of that in a little bit, but I just wanted you guys to see we're going to have turf competition opportunities for our teams, whether that's locally. We have a relationship with the people at the Legacy Center in Brighton. It's one of the nicest facilities, in the state. It's only 90 minutes away. We can do some 11v11 games there for our top teams to be able to stay playing soccer in the winter. And the whole goal is to have the schedule completely calibrated for you guys so there's not a conflict between soccer and futsal. So, the last thing that I'll bring up, two more things, sorry. The last thing I'll bring up when we look at the fall and spring is that our club wholeheartedly believes in high school soccer. We believe that all of our athletes should be able to play a season of club soccer and a season of high school soccer when they're in those 4 years of playing high school. How many people in the room, I'm just curious, how many people played high school soccer in this room by a show of hands? Sweet, a good number of you. Putting on that high school jersey and walking through the hallways is a totally different feel than playing club. And 3 of the 4 of us up here actually coach high school soccer. And we believe in that. We believe in playing for your school team. And we believe in the development that can take place in those 4 years of high school, being able to do club and school. So you'll see that in the fall. We want our boys playing high school soccer, and then they can play club in the spring with us. And in the spring, we want the vice versa for the girls. The last thing is our new summer program, and we're going to touch base on it in a little bit, of our new summer open league. It's one of our new developments that Joey touched base on earlier. And again, the whole idea is to keep you guys local, not make you guys travel so much, and be able to get your kids playing in the summer with us as well.
Okay, so I know many of you, in the last 5 months of being here, I've spent, I can't tell you how many hours meeting with a lot of parents, a lot of families about their experiences. Coming in here, I wanted to know how could we be better, and what are we doing great? And so I had a variety of things. We also sent a survey out to a lot of MFA families, had over 150 plus responses, which is incredible, knowing how busy you are, that we got that many responses. But we kind of take those things and we said, okay, as we plan to go forward in this vision, what are those common themes that stick out to us from you as parents? So if you see something you might have set up here, don't embarrass yourself by raising your hand and saying, hey, that was me, but these are directly from you as parents. So I'm going to ask them as we go through and see if we can't get a couple answers to these. So if you go to the first one for me. The cost of winter futsal programs are extremely high compared to the overall experience that they were getting. So I guess, Derek, what has been done to, address this in everything we're talking about tonight for the families? And it's a great question. I'm a parent too, so.
I have another slide for that. And you guys are hearing back from me. I promise we'll get to these guys soon. So, as we saw earlier, we're going to still offer a very high level, both in quality of play and quality of coaching level of futsal in our club. It's going to be called Rev Futsal Elite. The number one motivator for this, to answer Brett's question, was just the cost alone. That was the number one complaint that we kept getting, is parents having to buy new uniforms and having to pay for travel and hotels and all this stuff in a very busy winter season. We were, with the old model of futsal in this club, we were packing it in for you guys and doing so much. And our goal is to change that. The second biggest thing with this is providing a consistent product for you guys and your kids in a year-round development pathway. So the goal is to get our outdoor coaches working with their teams on the futsal side. That way, the development carries over from fall through spring. I myself, I got to work with my 11 girls Volt team this winter, and it was awesome to be able to pick up in the spring right where we left off in February instead of where we left off in October. So having our outdoor coaches stay with their groups and being able to keep those teams together is our goal. So the other thing with that is like keeping a group together to be able to develop throughout the entire year. That way the friendships, the player development, the competition level stays consistent throughout. I know this last year we had a lot of teams that were divided, where half the team decided one thing, half the team decided another. And the goal with this is to be able to keep our outdoor groups together in the winter months as best as possible. The other thing is competition, right? We want to make sure that we're providing a high level of competition for our athletes, for you guys as parents to watch and enjoy. We have some really cool projects in the works. The main point of our competition is to provide you guys with a winter schedule that doesn't dominate the scenes. We don't want every single weekend for you to be consumed by playing futsal games. I don't know how many NLC families we have in the room, but the NLC schedule is, you play a weekend, you get 2 or 3 games in that weekend, you might have the next weekend off. That's our goal, is 1 or 2 weekends of a month in the winter will be committed to futsal. And then you can have the other weekends off to enjoy some family time, go skiing, or if you want to do a soccer tournament, or if your team wants to add a futsal tournament, that's totally an option. We're putting the power in each team to kind of make a decision that feels best for them, to be able to make a calendar that works in what they want to do. So this balances and calibrates really well with the soccer schedule. This last year we had soccer teams going to college showcases in the winter, and it happened to fall on the exact same weekend that they had futsal games. And now we were putting our families in a position to choose between soccer and futsal, and we don't ever want to do that again. We want you guys to feel like it's all mapped out and soccer and futsal can coexist.
Can you talk quickly, because I want to make sure this gets pointed out. The NLC weekend idea is awesome. The competition you talked about, we have 2 different options for them. I want to go specifically so they're not just necessarily reading that we can go into with the East Side, West Side, and the local stuff.
Yeah, so we're in regular contact with our local clubs, making plans with them to get playing futsal with them, to add some more local competition to the mix. And then we also are in the works of creating an East Side, West Side league, that a lot of the West Side, we are the West Side. A lot of the East Side top clubs are already committed to this, and getting more competition available in the state for futsal. So it might look like, okay, you might have 2 weekends where you're over in Detroit for the whole winter, and then 2 weekends you're here, and that's your league for the winter. So again, a very family-friendly, schedule-friendly structure that still provides high-level competition, a lot of diversity. So we're kind of revamping the entire league model on the futsal side for our program. And then the last thing is, this is aligned with U.S. Soccer. This is aligned with with World Soccer. This idea of using futsal as a supplemental tool for soccer is nothing foreign to the world. This is how everyone kind of treats futsal, and this is our plan: is to use futsal to coincide with soccer instead of compete with soccer. If that makes sense.
Perfect. So the next one that we have, if you go I like this one. Our winter schedules are jam-packed. We all know that. And we are racing from one thing to the next. There are even schedules within MFA programming that had conflicts. So, Joey, what did we do, or how are we doing it to calibrate our programs to avoid any conflicts for our parents? I will say I'm going to throw out a challenge after you're done with this, that if a parent can find a conflict because you guys thought through this so well, our whole team did, I'd be shocked. So can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so being an auxiliary director here, I run the extracurricular activities. So in the winter, I run soccer performance school, high school boys trainings, high school girls trainings. And I've had several parents, the 2 years that I've been here, say to me, well, I wanted to sign up my son for soccer performance, but they have futsal that night, or they have directors training that night. So what we've done is we've created a calendar Monday through Thursday where within our club, if let's say I'm going to coach the 2006 girls next year, a 2006 girl on my team will not have a single conflict. On Mondays, as you can see, we're going to have boys do turf training and girls do futsal training. And then the following Monday, they just reverse. Girls do turf and boys do futsal. So the last couple of years, we've actually had to have only boys this Monday and then only girls the following Monday. So a girl will get training every other Monday, or any player will get training every other Monday. Where now everyone, boys and girls, gets training every Monday. And they alternate between futsal and soccer on turf. On Tuesdays, we will have our Revolution Futsal Elite trainings. Every team. The courts are open to us for us to use, so everyone that plays, chooses to play Revolution Futsal Elite will have training on Tuesday with the coach that coaches them in outdoor for that year. And then on Wednesdays and Thursdays, we'll have our director's training. So Wednesdays, we'll have certain age groups, boys, girls, and Thursday, we'll have opposite age groups. Soccer performance will be on Wednesday, and we'll make sure that we flip-flop the ages so someone could do both. So 2006 girl can go to director's training at the allotted time, and then we make sure that 2006 age groups of soccer performance are later on that night. So technically, you could do both. And then we're still gonna have our ref futsal practices Wednesday and Thursdays as we've had them. 616 MFA juniors are at the same time. So I did challenge the earlier group, the 5 o'clock group, to find a conflict if you play for MFA. What do you see as a possible conflict for your son or daughter? And afterwards, one lady said about goalkeeper training could be a conflict. Well, it won't be, because if we have goalkeeper training on Mondays, we can make sure that we have the older age groups do their skills training earlier, goalkeeper training later. So that doesn't mean you might have to do 2 trainings in one night, but it won't be a conflict. So if you can think of something, as Brad said, just let us know afterwards when we take on questions. But I've had 4 kids that have gone through sports, through soccer, and it is a burden on the parents, right? When you have too much going on, and then when you want what's best for your kid and you can't fit it in. So I think this model gives you the opportunity to do as much as you want. Only do whatever your team is doing. You can do extra stuff as goalkeeper training and camps and all that. So we're very excited to finally have the facilities, all to ourselves, where we can make that happen.
Perfect. You want to go to the next one. George, I'm going to come to you on this one, but we want our players to have fun and develop in the summer without all the bells and whistles. We're feeling pressured to join other leagues, even by other clubs, and if that's the case, I'd like to talk to you at the end, but don't want to travel during the summer. I get that as a parent, obviously, and as a coach, that we kind of want our time in the summer. So, meaning we were in Parkes, I think, Thursday, and now we're in shorts. So our summers are short. We have apparently no spring left. So what are we doing for our summer programming to kind of make that a little bit better for our families and their time?
Well, obviously, you have it over here. We are coming up with the Summer Open Play League. The purpose of that is purely player development. Our goals and objectives as a club has gotten bigger, and we have higher expectations for our teams, and we believe that we need to create an environment for our players to continue their development during the summertime. I know that some of you prefer to go and play in other leagues. I've done everything myself, and I've done everything with my kids, and I think this is better. This is better for their player development. It's close to home, and there's no travel necessary, and there's no additional cost to it. What we're going to do for this open play, every Thursday night, we're going to have our players to come at the fields. We're going to have our coaches to supervise everything, to make sure that the safety of the players is important. But we can allow the players to continue to develop individually in small-sided environments. So the younger players might play 3v3, 4v4, and then we're going to go and play 5v5 with goalkeepers. By playing in a small format, it gives players a bigger opportunity to touch the ball more. When you go and play 11v11 versus 4v4, you touch the ball, or the player touches the ball 300% more than they will touch the ball in a bigger environment. So that means that there is a lot more problem solving happening on both sides of the field. People and players are adjusted to defending and attacking situations. And through that kind of repetition, we don't develop only the players, but we develop their technique, their tactical awareness, but first and foremost, we develop their emotional side, their social side, their decision making, and their leadership in those games. So we want to, like Joey said earlier, we want to create an environment where pickup soccer, it's an important tool of their development. Our kids are manipulated from teachers to teachers' aid. Everywhere they get orders. And we want to just take a step back and allow them to play on their own. Because when I talked earlier about abstract thinking and intelligence in soccer and problem solving, that happens by giving them, this opportunity. If we manipulate them, then we create, if coaches are present all the time, the coaches are giving directions all the time, we kill their creativity and we turn them into robotic soccer players. So this summer league is going to be very good. There's not a lot of travel. Every Thursday night, players can come and play with their teammates. Boys can play against girls. They can play against older kids. We can mix. Our coaches will make sure that everybody's placed in an environment where they are suited to their skill and their strengths. And that avoids, a lot of travel. It gives you more family time. Socially, you're a little bit healthier, and everybody benefits from that.
You have anything to add to that, or you're good?
Yeah, I guess what I would say is that in my 26 years of coaching, I did Super Y League in my former club, and I did it because that's what we did, right? So the nice thing about being here and being an MFA is that we're not going to do Super Y League because our competitors are doing Super Y League. It doesn't make sense for us to just form Super Y League. He's going to have you guys travel to Indiana on a Thursday night to get a game in and go on the weekend to Illinois, where you're going to end up winning 7-0 or losing 7-0, where you don't control the competition. There's a lot of travel involved. So the nice thing about being here, and one of the reasons why I came here after being for 22 years in the same club, is because I knew that with George, as we've always felt the same way, we have the same vision with Derek, and now even with Brad here, that we can do what makes sense for us to develop players, and we don't have to do something because other people are doing it. If you end up doing Super Y League with another club, that's great. If you find value in that, that's fine. Maybe you don't have a lake house. Maybe you don't like to travel in the summer. Maybe you enjoy the winters more than the summers. That's fine. But we try to stay away from doing things because other people are doing it. And this would be very beneficial. As I said before, it's something that George and we both grew up in another country. And it's something that we said, man, I wish our kids, our own sons, had the chance to just go out and just play with kids that are a little bit older than them, or play in a pickup environment. It's always been missing. So I'm really super excited about this one.
And I guess the best thing to add to that is, I'll just officially tell you, our tuition packages, they'll be coming out RedFest like we normally do, so that way you can get that information. But the best part about this summer program, as a leadership group, we've decided it's going to be part of every Revolution player's if you join us, it's part of your program. We're not going to ask you for an additional cost. It is going to be figured into all the tuition packages so they can take advantage of it and obviously develop. I truly believe in this. Small-sided, when you watch people who play small-sided for a while, they can cognitively make decisions on the fly. So I love this, so I'm going to give you about the 1 minute warning for what most people have probably come here for, not to necessarily hear about all of us and our experiences or what we have, but the coaching lineup stuff. It's a 1 minute warning to get your iPhone or anything else ready. I said this earlier and everybody started holding it up. So we're going to go over some important dates here really quick. Again, all of this will actually, it's been recorded. Did you, oh, okay. We're just going to go right into the coaching lineup. So if you want to take your pictures, this is the coaching lineup for the GR boys, for the Grand Rapids teams. You'll notice some new names on there, which we'll go over here in a second. But that is the official lineup for next year. What I was saying while you all get your pictures, Christy's been bugging us for about 4 weeks to announce this, and we didn't even give her the heads up, so you're all seeing it at the same time. But it's we have increased the level of coaching ability that we have. You'll see some of those here in a little bit. So for the girls one, I'm excited about this one. I happen to think the 05 girls coach is pretty good guy. So and I don't know. I guess sorry, Derek. I'm going to say I don't know if you know who Derek Dufendock is. But our marketing
I'm not a
team,
fan of that name.
Yeah, they misspelled Derek's name, so he's a little offended today. But that's the girls lineup for the Grand Rapids teams. What I was saying is all of this will be posted, obviously on social media, and obviously we'll share a link to this recording for family and friends who couldn't be here today because of other schedules. So now we're going to go, and I got those mixed up in my head. So before we get on to explaining a couple things with George and some of the new coaches we're bringing on, which are exciting additions. RevFest, obviously we said May 25th. That's when we go over a lot of tuition packages. It happens 6 to 8 at Fieldhouse. It's a very, very good time. Kids have a lot of fun with it. It gets a chance for you, obviously, to again ask us questions if you have any between now and then. Some of the questions at the earlier group about the age group Zoom meetings. That's going to be held by technical directors of the age groups.
We will email this to you guys.
They will all be emailed. Yeah, we will share it. So don't feel like you have to. We just wanted to at least get the dates going. So the 4 of us, obviously, will jump into some of those meetings. You might see us popping in and out of your age group on the Zoom meeting. That's just to make sure if you have questions for us as a leadership team, you can ask us that. So free clinics. Those will be the week before tryouts. I love these. It is, I'm going to give you the heads up, it is not a way to get your player evaluated. You cannot do that before tryout date, so that won't be happening. What it will be is a chance for your player to kind of take the pressure off, get a little extra training time on the pitches with some of the top coaches in our club, just to kind of get some extra skills and take the pressure off before tryouts that youth typically put on themselves. So it's going to be fun, high intensity training. We definitely would welcome you signing up, or at least coming out for those. So tryouts, they're coming up soon. It's next 4 weeks are pretty busy for us. If you see it up there, NLC Premier and DA are June 11th. Just so you know, on our website, the age groups and times for your son or daughter's tryouts are on there. So you'll be able to find that on our website under the tryouts. Please go and register. It is open now. Register now. Tell your coach I registered, so we know obviously what your plans are for your son or daughter. So select girls. Derek and I love this one. Girls will be Monday, June 13th. Boys will be Tuesday, June 14th.
We finally got to one-day tryouts, guys.
So
it took us
you do not
9
have
years.
to haul back here. It's 1 day of tryouts for the select teams, and we'll get you in and out again to respect your summers. There is kind of a reason for that too, as well as makeups. I will tell you, just so everybody's prepared, the state sets the dates for us. We don't, and everybody does it the same day. It's the same week every year. So we inevitably get family vacation somehow scheduled, and people have been in the clubs for our club soccer for 10 years or multiple generations. If you have a need for a makeup date because you're on a vacation or something, we obviously respect that. Make sure to communicate that on the trial or the registration page, and then we'll send you a form to obviously fill out for additional information on your athlete, what team they play for, what team they're looking to possibly move up to, and just answer those questions, and we'll get it with our coaching staff to work through. So we will work around makeups. So if they're a previous MFA athlete, obviously we can talk to the previous coach too to have that as consideration. So the date on the bottom, a little bit different from last year. It is a date change from what was I think put out on social media a little bit because we want to make this a little bit redesigned, obviously with the the Rev Futsal Elite teams. Rev Futsal Elite, like Joey said, we have two different programs. There's still Rev Futsal programs that we normally have. Rev Futsal Elite is for our top teams, or there might be a player, you might have a son or daughter that's on a Volt team that's really good at futsal, or played at the academy or premier levels of our previous programs. That is the tryout for you to make. It is June 16th. On that Thursday, none of us are gonna sleep for a week straight. We're just gonna put some cots out and get a bunch of coffee and get it all knocked out in 1 week so you can enjoy your summers and weekends. So speaking of summers, I'm gonna let Joey go first, and then or do you wanna jump? You go first, and then Joey, if you could tell us right when he's done about summer camps and registration.
I just want to clarify on the Rev Futsal Elite tryouts. We're only having tryouts for Rev Futsal Elite. Rev Futsal regular teams will be formed as they always have, just kind of an interest only. It is also still open to players from outside clubs. The only thing is, that thing that we talked about costs, extra costs, outside players would obviously still have to buy a uniform because you guys would already all have your uniforms. And then the other thing with that, I just want to clarify, I don't remember, I just had a total.
We'll let Joey go first.
Let Joey talk.
You were
I
much
don't
sharper
even
than
know
the
why
first
I'm
one.
talking.
Yeah. Joey, go ahead.
Yeah, in terms of summer camps, just go to the website and go under MFA, go under camps, and you'll find the elite camps. We're doing our shooting camp at the same exact time as our goalkeeper camp this year, which is something I've always wanted to do, which makes sense, right? So I have goalies work with their coach for the first part of the camp, goal scorers work with me, and then we bring them together so they can challenge each other. Moves and skills camp is a very good camp to do. We have 2 of those this summer. Soccer performance every Monday and Wednesday you can sign up for as many sessions as you want. You don't have to do all of them. There's a high school boys training every Wednesday. There's a college ID camp for boys on July 20th. So just go to the website, look at it. Registration is open. And again, that's a good way for you to decide which one best fits for your kid, and if it works out with your summer schedule, then just go ahead and check it out.
Yeah, we tried to provide a pretty wide range of dates and obviously different skill sets. So please check that out on the website as well. Without further ado, George, I really am excited about some of the pickups we've done. We've spent, more than almost 6 to 8 weeks going through some pickups that we've had in our staff. Derek, if you mind putting it up, I want George to kind of just briefly go through everybody and kind of introduce who we have. So.
Well, in the past 2 months, like Brett said, we've worked very hard as a leadership team to find the right people that are going to join our organization. And we believe that, coaches has the massive value in our program. In order for us to implement, all the philosophy and the playing styles and the new methods of training, we need coaches. We need people that are professional enough and have the same attitude, that are morally right for the job. And we have gone through a long process to find the right people for the job, and we're very excited that we're going to introduce some new faces to our program in here. The first one is Alex Mendoza. Played professional soccer in Mexico with Pumas. Has a high license from the CONMEBOL Soccer Federation, which is the South American Soccer Federation, with the roots in Argentina. So very excited to have Alex in our team, and he's going to take a director role too. So he's going to be one of our technical directors to guide our U13 through U15 boys.
George, one thing I really like about Alex, he's very big on the mental side of the game, that athletes put pressure on them, and he's going to be a good addition to helping us with some programming behind that too. So.
And Alex has coached locally. He has coached for clubs like SCORE in the previous years. Our next one is David Wood. He's part of our coaching staff right now as an assistant coach. His kids are playing for our club. A very knowledgeable person, a B licensed coach, has extensive experience with other soccer clubs, with the Cats, with the Rangers,
TAS.
With TAS.
TAS,
I'm sorry. TAS.
They're all merging, so we don't know who they are right now.
And also he has been a former DOC at the Michigan Fire Juniors. Love his expertise. We can talk for hours with these guys about soccer and their ideas, and that's what really got us excited about having them with us the new journey that we have ahead of us. The next one actually is here. Chris Kuhn, his son plays in our club,
Chris.
and he is joining us coming this year. Chris is a veteran coach, has been coaching for 12, 13 years, and he comes with a lot of expertise from pass and score.
Did he know we were putting a picture up of him?
I told him right before.
Okay, all right.
I don't know, but I like his hairstyle.
Yeah, that's good.
Next one. You want to do this?
Dave West. No, this is Dave West.
Dave West. Dave West, very experienced soccer coach. He's coming from the east side. Has extensive soccer experience on the college level. He has coached for Clear University, Spring Arbor University. He's been with many soccer clubs on the east side. One of the top coaches on that area. I've known Dave for many, many years. He used to be an ODP coach. I coached ODP about 20 years ago, and he was one of the coaches. So he's got a very wealthy experience of coaching, and we're very excited to have him with us.
And if you're a parent of a goalkeeper, i.e. right in front here, or myself, he's also a high-level goalkeeper coach that will be helping Trevor.
He also has the meanest mullet on this side of the Mississippi.
He played for the major indoor soccer league for Tampa Bay Rowdies, an indoor too. And that's why he said his body's all beat up from taking all those indoor shots. Those professional players.
Our next one is Jeff Brown, a veteran coach. I've known Jeff for about 20 years. He comes from SCORE now. We used to be technical directors. He was a DOC of Grand Rapids Crew Juniors on the girls' side. Very motivated coach, very driven coach. A lot of experience, in the youth soccer level, at all NLC, Premier, GVSA levels.
This one, I'm excited about this one. Joey, do you want to take this? I mean, you guys have been fighting all day. Who is taking this one? I don't know if you know this guy or can vouch for him, but
I know him a little bit, but I'll let George speak about him. George has known him almost as long as I've known him, so I'll let George speak.
Well, if we talk about, intuition, if we talk about abstract thinking, if we talk about intelligence in soccer, Giuseppe represents that. He's been my favorite player on this side of the state that I've coached. Very, very high intuition in solving problems in games. Creative player, very mature, great problem solver, great goal scorer, great assister of passes in the final third of the field. Very calm. Joey said earlier that he takes from his mom.
Thank God.
Giuseppe's going to come and join us. He's the new coach, the head coach of the varsity team for East Kentwood High School, and we're very, very proud and excited to have him with us.
And he also just got done student teaching, and he's most likely going to be teaching secondary at social sciences. So it's nice that at least one of my boys is doing something third degree.
wow. Well, this is
Don't tell the
recorded.
others
So
I
We
was
cut that part out of the recording.
good news is contracts are signed.
Rudy, you
together.
can cut that one.
We'll have that part edited out because all of your boys are value to us. So as you can see, and I think that kind of gets us towards the end, we are doing a lot. We've spent countless hours together figuring out what does the vision of MFA look like going forward. I think we've laid out a really good plan. I do, again, welcome any questions at the end. We'll stick around as long as it takes us to answer those for you. But we're really excited about it, and I hope you are too, as we take a step forward to show you how we can truly develop players to be, we teach life sport, so be better players on the courts, in the fields, as well as in their communities. We'll continue to take that vision forward. So these programs all highlight that. There's a lot more details to come. This will obviously kind of give you an idea where we're going, and then we'll share with you some more details in the future, especially at RevFest, which is coming up in a couple weeks. So thank you again for coming. I appreciate it. Again, hang out if you have any questions. We're glad to ask. Popcorn and pops on us if you'd like to grab some on your way out. But mainly, thank you for being a part of our club family. We truly mean that. We hope you feel a part of the club. So thank you. Have a great night.
Thanks, everyone. Good seeing you all.
Thanks, guys.